After a disappointing end to a promising season, the Cleveland Cavaliers now have a lot to do this offseason to get back in contention. I think many people, including myself, overreacted after the poor playoff performance, but it definitely was frustrating to watch. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a few huge trades that would really fix the holes in this Cavs roster. But before I begin this video, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. I'm on the road to 10K subscribers, and we are just growing super fast right now. So looking back at the Cavs season, even though of course they had a disappointing ending, in some ways, it was a very successful year. They acquired an absolute superstar and all-NBA player in Donovan Mitchell in the offseason, then they made the playoffs and reached 50 wins for the first time without Lebron since the 90s. All was looking good for the Cavs, and we all thought that we would be able to roll right past the Knicks in the first round. The Cavs then of course proceeded to get destroyed by the Knicks in every part of the game, and all series long they were outplayed, outcoached, outworked, and just about any other thing you can think of. I never would have predicted that Mitchell Robinson would outplay Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, and then Brunson being the best player in the series over Spida, but it turns out that was just the case. With all the talk going around that Donovan Mitchell wants to be in New York and play for the Knicks, I want to first say this. If Donovan Mitchell wants to stay in Cleveland, keep him. Mitchell was great all regular season long and throughout his career has been a great playoff performer. It was unfortunate what happened this year in the playoffs, but do not panic after one season, and we shouldn't get rid of him if he wants to stay. However, if the front office does not think Donovan Mitchell is committed to staying in Cleveland, I think there is definitely an opportunity to potentially move him for another star, and then the front office can see what they can get. With the Celtics on the verge of getting sent home in the conference finals by the Miami Heat, there is definitely a lot of potential in them trying to split up Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum due to the fact that they are both in line for Supermax extensions, and it would cost the team a lot of money to keep them together. There are a lot of what-ifs involved in this, but these two teams might both be looking to press the panic button, with the Cavs getting killed in the playoffs and then the Celtics owing their two superstars a lot of money. The Cavs could look to swap Donovan Mitchell to the Celtics for Jaylen Brown and then maybe a player like Marcus Smart. I think that this trade would make the Cavs better and would also allow Darius Garland to handle the ball more while also keeping an offensive threat at 26 points per game. Not to mention, Marcus Smart could also either play the 2 guard while JB plays the 3 or 4. If Smart would be willing to come off the bench and be the veteran backup point guard this Cavs team so desperately needs, then that would be great, and I think that would motivate them to do this trade even more. Like I said, Smart and Brown are both very great defenders, and I think this trade would help the Cavs a ton in terms of defense because Mitchell does not play much defense, and it showed in the playoffs. Moving on to the next trade, not as big as the previous one, but Isaiah Joe, if available, would be a player that I think would fit well with the Cavs. I'm not sure if the Thunder would make Joe available because they just extended him to a multiple-year contract this past season, but I'm sure the Cavs could get this done for the right price. Maybe a more unknown player by some, Isaiah Joe was cut from the 76ers before signing with the OKC Thunder and had a pretty good season this year. He only played 19 minutes per night but averaged 9.5 points per game, including a 33-point night against the Hornets, and shot 41% from 3. And I swear, every time I watched this guy shoot, I thought it was going in. The Cavs definitely lacked depth in the series against the Knicks, and it seemed they only had 1 or 2 guys that were even playable off the bench. Isaiah Joe could be a guy who stretches the floor and knocks down threes off the bench, something the Cavs tried to find in Danny Green, but ultimately, he was just not the answer, and it ended up being a huge need in the playoffs. Before I get into this last trade I think the Cavs should make, I want to ask you guys who you think the Cavs should trade for. If I agree with your commented player, I'll be sure to give you a heart. There are so many options to cover, including ones I have previously mentioned. Alright, so this last move is another one that I can see as realistic, and I have heard from people around the organization that the Cavs could look into this. This player is John Collins from the Atlanta Hawks. John Collins is a very interesting player because it seems like he has gotten worse over the past few years. But if the Cavs can get back the 2018 through 2020 John Collins, where many people thought he was an all-star, then this would be a very good move. He is obviously a freak athlete who is an incredible lob threat, and back in the 2019-20 season, he shot the 3 ball at 40%. It is very likely the Hawks move Collins, as there was talk of it during the trade deadline, and they could be blowing everything up potentially in Atlanta, as it once seemed like Collins and Young would be a dominant duo for years to come, which was never the case, and it is just not working out. I think the Cavs could maybe give up Jarrett Allen if the Hawks move away from Clint Capella, who seemed to give little production in the playoffs, along with maybe some other pieces that could help get this trade done for the Cavs. I think a starting lineup with Collins and Mobley in the front court is much better than Mobley and Allen because it allows more space for the Cavs on offense if Collins can get back to shooting the 3-ball like he used to. Even if he just got up to 35% instead of the 30 he shot this past season, it would help immensely. So there you have it. Those are the 3 trades that I think the Cavs could make this offseason that would make them so much better and help them go deeper in the playoffs. Now, there are obviously other needs that should be addressed, such as the backup center position with Naz Reid and Mason Plumlee floating around for the Cavs, and I think both of them would be very solid additions to the team to fill a glaring need as a backup big man. I think that this could also be a deciding year for JB Bickerstaff as a coach because it was clear that he could not match up with someone like Thibs in a series against the Knicks, and with great coaches getting fired left and right in the NBA, a lot of coaches' jobs are on the line, and I think that JB's should be as well. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. I personally do not think people should panic yet, as it was this team's first year together, and they did not have a lot of playoff experience, which was made clear when Jarrett Allen said the lights were brighter than expected. But hey, it's Cleveland, and our fans love to overreact sometimes. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this video and what you would like to see next. Thank you all so much again for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed and haven't already, and make sure to stay tuned for more videos in the future. And until next time, I will see you all later.